Car insurance is the biggest scam in America.
I don't know what they expect people to do. My credit score's 800. I'll be 25 in 2 fucking weeks. Yet my car insurance in the last 2 years went from 220 to 270, now to 320.
So with the cost of living in the United States rising in recent years, insurance companies have also decided to get a piece of that, as some would say, and have started doing just egregious things to get people to pay more. Everything from straight up neglecting their responsibility to do the job you paid them to do, to raising your rates and discriminating against you as an individual because of the actions of other people that you quite frankly cannot control. So today we have examples of that and a couple of other things that I really just wanted to show you that I found. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and roll the first clip.
I don't know what they expect people to do. My credit score's 800. I'll be 25 in 2 fucking weeks. Yet my car insurance in the last 2 years went from 220 to 270, now to 320. I give them a call. They said, sir, there's nothing we can do. We're getting calls. Our phones are off the fucking hook because people all over the place, apparently, their insurance went up too. Am I alone in this fucking shit? But not for nothing. I'm paying nearly $900 a month for a Nissan Rogue Sport. Do you not? I'm paying $1,000 a month to not look masculine at all.
So, as expected, insurance companies raise your rates regardless of your driving history, and they cite accident statistics in your local area as like justification to charge you more. And God forbid you get into an accident, regardless on if it's your fault or not, because almost always they will use that as an excuse to get you to pay more. And since insurance is a legal requirement when driving, you kind of just have to, pay for it if you want to live a somewhat normal life here in America. I mean, I think we all know that this country isn't exactly the most walkable. Yeah, there's public transportation, but it's not the best anywhere really. So the vast majority of people need to drive. That requires a car, which requires insurance, which means that there is a lot of people who need to pay for this service. So of course, companies are going to find a way, these private companies are going to find a way to get as much money as they can out of you. I mean, just look at the comments. The fact that you get arrested if you don't have car insurance, one of the biggest scams around. We need to have insurance by law. It should be regulated. That is, I agree with that. You should get reimbursed at the end of the year for driving safe. Only thing I found that lowers my car insurance is to switch. They don't give discounts to loyal customers, but they do to new customers, and I would have to agree with this. I went from paying $480 a month to paying $280, which is, still not good, but still, that's still $200 off of what I was paying because I was calling around and I, found somebody else. And then before I left, the first insurance company that was charging me $480, they all of a sudden found a way they could lower my rates to $320. So you got to keep on shopping around because, I mean, even though it's a requirement, at the very least, you're allowed to shop around and find whatever works for you. Get different quotes, use that as leverage. Don't be scared to step on some toes, all right? Ruffle some feathers, ask for what you want, and you eventually will get it. Or at least something better than what you already have.
I know the bill I hate the most. Fucking car insurance. Every month I'm looking at that shit just waiting. I know it's got to get paid, but I'm just waiting till the last day to pay that shit because I'm so fucking pissed. Everything in America is a business. I bought a cash car to save money, and I don't spend more money on car insurance than a damn car. You pay every month. No accidents all year. And don't get shit back.
Where my fucking refund check?
You need it by law, but it doesn't even guarantee your car get fixed if something happens. You can pay for years and still get nothing back if somebody hits you and they're uninsured. Unless you pay
Extra.
for uninsured motorist coverage. This shit's so ridiculous.
I never thought of that really. The fact that uninsured motorist coverage isn't automatically included in like collision is kind of insane since everyone is technically legally required to have insurance. And like you said, you would think that loyalty would be rewarded, but like you could literally go years with flawless driving. But if something unexpected happened to you, regardless of fault, they will not hesitate to try and find a way to screw you over. The entire business model is literally built off just denying claims, as many as you can, which makes sense. It's how they profit. We've all known this. I'm not saying anything new, but it's still something that should be talked about.
You pay more for being poor or young. They say it's risk-based, but this shit really profit-based. The motherfuckers told me I'm gonna have to pay $680 a month.
$680.
If you get into an accident and it's not your fault, your rate's still gonna go up. It's still gonna go up. And if you file a claim, they raise your rates or drop you entirely for using what you've been paying for. If you don't buy it, they'll fine you. They'll suspend your license or tow your car. It's like paying rent for permission to drive. This shit is a subscription. Oh, and the prices randomly get raised every year. For no reason, they just raise them shits. Health insurance, car insurance, college, housing, all this shit is a big ass business.
I will never forget the day that I got my first insurance quote for my 2016 Ford Fusion that I bought for like $13,000. All right, it wasn't exactly like a brand new vehicle, you feel me? I mean, it was insane. These companies will dead ass quote a 18, 19, 20-year-old that can't possibly be making that much money over $600 a month in insurance. The most I've ever gotten quoted is $900 a month. $900. My car payment was like $200. Like, you can't make this up. And they're always so entitled when they call. Like, look, all I did was say hello. I didn't ask for an entire sales pitch, all right?
Car insurance is the biggest scam in America. How did car insurance become the law? And how is it okay that the insurance costs more than the monthly payment for the car? And if I haven't been in a car accident in ever, why can't I get my money back if I've proven that I'm a good driver? And why am I being punished for how other drivers drive? And why is my car insurance rate depending on my credit? What does my finances and my credit have to do with driving?
This always interested me because why does the fact that I'm a student or not influence how much I pay or if I get a discount? Most students are young, so wouldn't that be a risk? I mean, that's all you ever hear is the younger you are, the more you pay because you're more untrustworthy or whatever the fuck. Then how come if I'm a student, I can get a discount? I mean, seriously. And the reimbursal argument, I kind of understand, but at the same time, I mean, technically you're paying for a what-if protection, and if nothing happens, that doesn't change the fact that you were still covered during that time, which I hate to defend insurance, but I think in this case, the reimbursal is not really something that I understand. I really don't like how other people's drivings influence, the rates you get as an individual. If you think about it, it is a form of discrimination, all right? For example, if a young man is paying more than a young woman for a car's like insurance, right? Because statistically on males get into accidents more often, how is that any different from charging more or less money based off like racial statistics? If X race gets into more collisions than Y race, then is X race gonna pay more? I mean, both of these examples are backed by statistics, and they are both using these statistics to justify raising the prices of insurance on individuals just based off uncontrollable factors. Obviously, you can't control what gender you were born at, and obviously you can't control what race you were born at. Now, I'm not saying that to try and like push the argument that, oh, we should also allow like racial statistics to influence rates, but I'm more so saying that we should stop charging people on things that they didn't directly influence. Like, yes, most young guys do drive more recklessly than young women, but that's still not the rule of thumb for every single young person that's a man on the road. Why are we paying an increased rate because of that? It makes no sense. Something like driving school I could understand, which some companies do offer like discounted rates, but it really isn't much. But at least with driving school, it's a controllable factor. It's like, okay, you didn't attend it.
Also, on top of the government requiring you to have car insurance and then not providing it, the private companies you do have to go to, 90% of the time it's not even beneficial to call them because they'll just raise your rates. You'll end up paying more per month. I had a deer a couple of years ago and it was going to cost $1,000 to fix the damages, and I didn't call my insurance because I knew they would raise my rates. I live in an area with a lot of deer, and they commonly use that as an excuse. They say, hey, you might hit one again, so we're gonna have to charge you a couple extra dollars per month. And a lot of the times they do that based off a percentage of what you're paying. And I was paying $400 because I was on a joint plan with my mom. And if they decided to raise my rates 20%, that's an extra $80 a month. A little after a year, I would have spent more on the extra $80 a month than they did fixing the car. It makes no sense to call them in a situation like that. And even if in a situation where you're not at fault at all, like you get rear-ended, they can still sometimes just decide to raise your rates because, hey, who knows, it might happen again. Like, the entire insurance system is set up so they can just randomly try and charge you more per month. It doesn't make any sense. Like, 99.9% of people will never get more money from the insurance company than they've given.
Yeah, raising someone's rate if they get rear-ended is just diabolical. What if it happens again? Well, you can make that argument for literally anybody. Anybody can get rear-ended. Unless the driving habits prior to the accident influence the rear-ending, there is no argument here. Everyone has to stop at stop signs, red lights. When they turn onto a road, it's just unavoidable. You're going to stop on the road at some point. Just like everyone has to stop, everyone runs the risk of getting rear-ended by somebody not looking at the road. The same thing with the deer thing. I mean, like, they knew going into the policy that this area had a high level of deer, so why are they raising it now that he already hit it? Deer come out of nowhere, and a lot of the time, if anything, after hitting one, you're probably going to be a lot more conscious of deer and probably more careful. So the whole excuse of, oh, what if you hit a deer again, is honestly it's just invalid. Truth is, they're trying to minimize the losses they take on paying out your insurance claims, okay? So they don't take a complete loss on you. That's just how it is. I'm not sure why this isn't like a transparent thing. They're just trying to make their money back. It's not a matter of, oh, what if you get rear-ended again, or what if you hit a deer again? Don't piss on someone and call it rain. That's just how it is.
So I just got into a car accident. Skill issue. Right. So are you gonna cover the damages? What would give you the impression that I would pay for anything? Just the general definition of what car insurance is, I think, is what gave me that impression. Yeah, I'm gonna need a little bit more information. How about the fact that I've been paying a monthly premium on time for 10 years with you guys? And we thank you for giving us so much of your money. So much. But we're not gonna cover anything. Then what the fuck is the point of you guys? I'm supposed to be insured. It's supposed to prevent me from getting into an accident and having to pay extreme amounts of money for the damages, but it seems like I still have to pay for all of the damages. I'm not going to pay a dime, okay? You're going to have to pay out of pocket for that, all right? But But what I will do is I will raise the amount of money you have to pay monthly because you got into a car accident. I can't believe I'm forced to have this.
I'm sure insurance companies have entire departments of people who just look through policy agreements day and night to try and find some caveats to avoid doing their job. And it sucks even more that there aren't laws protecting the consumer from situations like this. I mean, you would think that if someone legally is required to pay for a service, then that service should legally be required to do what it's fucking paid for. But the whole system just takes advantage of you, alright? And really the only way that I've personally found that you could not get out of it because it's unavoidable, but you could minimize the fucking, the punishment you're taking, alright? Be kind of selfish, be kind of a dick, and call around. You want a better rate, you gotta, you don't just wait around until, your rates drop because your driving history is clean. Go find other options. Go use those quotes as leverage to get something better. Don't stop just because 1, 2, or 3 companies, just flat out said no to you. Somebody eventually is gonna give you a better rate. You may not get the friendliest people over the phone when you do call, but at the end of the day, who cares, alright? It's saving you money. You won't ever see these people in person, hopefully, probably. If it means not getting entirely screwed over, then really what's wrong with that? But that is gonna be it for this video. I really do hope you enjoyed it, and if you stuck around this far, thank you very much. If you liked the video, like the video. If you didn't, appreciate the view. If you disliked it, also appreciate the engagement. A dislike is appreciated. But yeah, like I said, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one, and yeah, have a nice day or evening or whenever you're watching this.